made weapons and sent them in, and
Wow.
you know, made fan art and sent it to the office, and that stuff goes on the walls, or is you know, if somebody's lucky enough to have it in their office. But then beyond that, I mean, if you know, we were to start doing games that open things up like that, I mean, those are big games to make, but we sure would like that. I mean, that's cool. It's neat to see what people do beyond the team, because even having, you know, a lot of really creative, wonderful people in the house, you can't compete with the Hive. I mean,
No, yeah, you certainly cannot compete. These questions that are coming from there
there's so many. You're dealing with thousands of people looking at, you know, versus, you know, a finite number of people that can work on the game.
Right.
When you open that up, they're invariably going to come up with things that you never could have thought of yourself.
I also wish there was more game creation software that was a little easier for a lot of people, because I think even with iPhone, it's like you see how much great stuff is out there.
But do you think that'll eventually happen as you know, we keep moving forward and forward? Do you think that there will be stuff for people to make their own games?
I hope so. I used to use one called Click and Play years ago from Maxis, like 20 years ago, and there's a couple things like Game Maker and Game Salad and some of these kind of programs, but there's really not a whole lot of stuff like that out there. There needs to be more.
Oh, this is gonna be weird,
Yeah?
but I have to move it just because that one.
Too close?
Yeah, it catches the breathing.
Yeah.
You're still alive, right? Yeah, and breathing. It's gonna be breathing.
Yeah, no, there's some neat stuff that's coming together in a really good way.
So, I don't know if you covered this at all. Body parts serve as different tactical purposes. So, does that mean having a good combination of tactical body parts will make your guys look ugly? I don't know.
I don't know that it'll make it look ugly. I think we tried to pair stuff up that would work out, you know, like, but I don't think it would. I think the modifiers, like, you know.
I don't know. That's just a question, I guess.
That's a fair question. I think the artist did a pretty good job of sorting that stuff out, stuff that looks good.
Let's see what else. There's so many questions happening right now.
I know. Will you release new maps and any additional content for the game later on, or?
Okay, so we're definitely going to be doing patching and things like that to make sure, but that's all we're really announcing formally on that. I mean, we really are going to be we want to make sure that the experience is fun and relatively glitch-free, and that glitchers and hackers are, well, you can never totally circumvent that. There's, you know, we can make that as good of an experience as possible for as the majority of people.
Speaking of experiences, how much effort has gone into making the online experience enjoyable? I mean, that's what this person wants to know. Example, you know, friend codes, stuff like that, or we speak.
We definitely we put a lot of effort into it, making sure that we had, you know, the headset peripheral, you know, was a big thing. You know, we worked closely with Nintendo when that was in development to make sure that we're integrating it into the game early on, and that so that we, you know, so that it sounds as good as possible, so there's not really any lag. We want to make sure that all of our levels are really tight and we run really smoothly, because that can be very frustrating. And
it certainly can.
You know, we spent tons of effort on optimizing things, making sure there were good experiences for everyone. I mean, it was a significant part of the development resources we had was in doing that. Literally, we have been playing online with gray boxes, which is the earliest stages of creating a level, since June, July of '09. So I mean, this stuff's had some play.
So multiplayer and online play has been a big key.
It's huge because we got some things right in the first game, and that was one of the things we got mostly right was multiplayer. And we wanted to make. There's still people playing it today. There's still we have good numbers of people playing Conduit 1. We want to make sure that those people are happy and they want to play Conduit 2. And so things like, you know, we had to get work with Nintendo and get waivers on things like Rivals and Rivals Chat and stuff like that, because that's part of what makes a first-person shooter fun. But,
right.
You know.
Yeah, let's see here.
So what was the biggest difficulty making this game?
not reaching too high. I think is probably the biggest difficulty. Knowing where, because as creators, you continue to want to do more, and we wanted everything that we put into the game to be very high quality. So we definitely didn't want to put anything in that was going to make the game come across as slipshot. You know.
Lackluster.
Yeah, anything
second
mediocre.
They didn't try hard enough.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think there were some things in the first game that were kind of mediocre.
Right.
And if you're able to do, you want to give people their full value, but if you put something in and put it in half-assed, it makes no one happy.
Does that suck to say though that you're like kind of mediocre as the world falls? As things fall back there, that's no big deal. But does that like do you have at first when you first heard these reviews for the first one? Oh, it was great, but this part sucked. Like, as an artist, you have to bite the inside of your jaw and then realize that it wasn't just this one person saying it, but then as you start over the months, you're like, wait a minute.
No, when there's consistent messaging on that, there's things that it definitely makes you do some soul searching and go, hey,
you have to go jog. You have to go jog.
You have to go jog. You have to spend some time alone on a desert island. Matt and I, we lived in Beijing on the streets for months.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
You go
Kung Fu the legend continues.
Yeah.
Yes.
High voltage 11.
Yeah.
So they really want to know.
Bootlegs of our own games.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what is
you like their port, the Chinese port?
So what's
It's
been
delicious.
an experience reward working at Conduit 2? What has been some of the positive things behind it?
The fans really is
Okay.
that's a huge thing. It sounds like such a formulaic answer, but like really, we're making this game not just for ourselves, but for other people and for people that bought the first game and want to buy the next game. We made this game because we thought there was an audience. There was enough of an audience out there that bought the game that allowed us to make the second game. We want to make those people happy.
Wow. You're doing it for the fans.
Absolutely.
Damn.
And a little
You don't
bit,
hear that
a little
too
bit
often.
for ourselves.
You don't hear that too often.
Us too. We lump ourselves in that fanboy category too.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
why
you
we
guys
first did it.
Pick up Shenmue 3 for us. Do it for the fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm putting a word out. I know
Absolutely.
people who make games. Games makers, finish Shenmue 3 for us, please.
They want to know a few things. Will there be dismemberment?
Dismemberment, we're not. You can definitely have gooey bits and stuff fly off of things. There's not actually
Action-like bits.
dismemberment. Yeah, that was something that we definitely had the tech to do dismemberment, but it just wasn't. It didn't feel right for what we're trying to do.
I guess this goes along with the dismemberments. So if I shoot somebody in the arm, will the animation hold their arm? Will it be specific body?
There'll be specific goo off of where you hit that person and things like that. Their behavior, we do have some modular component pieces to the enemies, helmets and armor bits that you can knock off, and so that they react based off of that. But there's not specifically like, some kind of kinematic system that blends like some crazy different animation types or something like that.
You have to forgive me. Sometimes I find myself wandering to just like, oh yeah, this guy over here, Eric's talking a bunch of stuff about whatever.
We're still
while I'm
we are
watching
still
your
watching
game.
the game.
Yeah,
at the
while I'm
same time
watching your
trying to,
game.
like,
I had that experience myself a lot, where I just I'm talking, but I wander outside of my own body.
Were we just in a multiplayer map right now? Is that what was happening? Or
They're actually modified multiplayer maps.
modified? Okay. That was pretty rad.
And
so the giant coins.
friend
What
code.
is
Yeah.
Is that how the
You collect the coins,
multiplayer
you
will
use the
work?
credits
We
to go to the store
we
to
have
purchase
we do
them.
allow rivals, so you
Okay.
can rivals and rivals chat, but it's but we support friend codes as well.
Okay. So you heard that many people were asking that question. And Invasion, is that online?
Matt, there is an online invasion mode, right? No. There's a split screen. There's up to 4 players. I think invasion online mode. We were trying to keep this optimized, and I don't know that we got it to where we wanted to. I think that one ended up on the painful cutting room floor.
Okay.
and
What game is this?
What game?
It's Conduit 2.
yeah,
Conduit 2.
yeah, Conduit 2. It hasn't come out yet. So this is High Voltage is in the house, and Sega's here too. Yeah, we're. And what website is this? Destructoid. Yeah, see, this keeps coming up, right? They keep asking. It's believed that a lot of people, right? A lot of people believe that Conduit 2 is done, and that you're delaying it to avoid competition such as Killzone 3.
Well, we're a developer. We make the game.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the publisher puts it out, and then really we use whatever.
And that's a different console altogether.
But then we use whatever time we have remaining to tweak, polish, balance the game, and continue with it. We're more than willing to take as much time as we have.
Right, you're never going to say no to time.
We're not going to ever go.
Ever say no.
So it's the publisher's decision, right?
Well,
maybe the
and
guy.
And the marketing,
so let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
And everything else. It's not just.
Photos, can you repeat the question?
Okay, so
Eric's right. Eric's right. It's always publisher and developer speaking back and forth. Developer asking for this, we're asking for this, and then you meet in the middle, and hopefully everyone's happy. But as Eric,
and the market defines it.
Yeah, as Eric said, I think people unfortunately expected a bit too much from Conduit 1. It was a good game, but they thought it would be like the AAA mega over blockbuster that blows away everything in the world ever made. And then they figured out, wait, it's just a great Wii game. So when High Voltage approached us and said, we're going to do another one, and the first one did really well, as we wouldn't do another one, because that question keeps coming up, we just said, well, you need a certain amount of time, and they got a certain amount of time. And you can hopefully see from what we're showing here that there's so much new content in there, and it takes a time to balance. And obviously, the more you put in, the more issues you have. And if you get a car and it's fully loaded and you got all the extras in there, air conditioning, leather seats, navigation system, ABS, whatever, cup holders, you gotta do more testing. All of a sudden you got the air condition and the cup holders are blocking the buttons. You fucked. You put it out, everyone says, whoa, you didn't test and balance that at all. And that's something we don't want to happen. So I'm pretty sure, and I hope Eric agrees, when the game comes out, people will play it and say, well, that was worth the wait. It's well balanced, there's a lot of stuff in there, it's a good value for money.
You work in PR?
No.
No, okay.
No, I worked with High Voltage software on the first one. That was a good game, but you could see that people got excited and they were talking about features we hadn't even announced. They were like, I want this feature, and by repeating it, at some point it was out there, and everyone was expecting things we never even announced. And then people were disappointed and blamed us. And I get their point. If someone tells you, I've heard Conduit 1 has 60-player online multiplayer, you believe this guy, you get the game, it only has like 12 players, you're disappointed. And just want to make sure everyone knows what to expect, what's in there, and put in more of that stuff that make people happy with Conduit 1. And as Eric said, there was some criticism on Conduit 1, and some people said the stage is too linear and too similar looking. And if you look at this stage, it's like it's different environments, it's all over the world, and it sounds like PR when I say all of that, but you can see there, it's true, it's happening.
It is PR.
It's great.
That's a major scam.
Is that the name of the city, Piara?
Yeah, it's
Peoria.
Peoria,
Yes.
Illinois. Peoria, Illinois. This is... They've fired the gardener, apparently. It's kind of went awry.
Peoria's gone to hell.
See, I've heard Conduit 2 has 124-player multiplayer.
That's true.
Yeah, someone copy and pastes that, confirmed, boom, and then everyone cries. It only has 123. That's what we're aiming for.
Have you ever? I mean, it's such a wild industry that people they get upset when you try to entertain them.
It's not a wild industry.
Why is that? Conduit 2. Why make a sequel?
Well, I think with anything, you have people get very passionate about things. We're passionate about this, and just different people express that differently. You have people that get very, it's when they don't say anything that you have to worry. They're not. If I find that some people felt, they wanted this thing to be great, and we're just thankful we have the opportunity to show them that we listened to you when we did these things.
Right.
And you're charging if we talked about iPhone games and other stuff earlier on.
What was that sound? Was that just like was that Kanye West or T-Pain? What was that?
It was kind of our nod. No, that's kind of a nod to fans right there. That's a little bit of a little game over kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, so we have a lot of prizes. Should we
got prizes.
We should give away another prize.
We should give away another prize.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that to you. You're so good at this.
Yeah.
No.
So should we give away another package? It's another headbanger headset. And where's the T-shirt? We had a.
Right here.
We gotta show the T-shirt again. Yeah. Yeah, and the T-shirt. It's another.
That's such a badass
headbanger T-shirt set. So you can wear the T-shirt and the headset at the same time.
There's no limitations
There's
on that.
no
Beyond
limits,
amazing.
yeah. And we obviously need a question.
Yeah,
There will be
okay,
a
I'll
question
get
soon.
an amazing
It's
question.
another high
But you're
voltage
right. No, can you do this?
I can do
Fabian?
this. I can do this. Questions coming up. I already know the answer, but there's a big chance that I will win again.
You know what? He wins all of these. He's got a huge stack of headbangers over here.
Yeah.
Oh, they want to see the headset support. I don't know. Can we do that?
Well, you can just wear it and look
Plug
cool.
it in and wear it, but
Yeah.
And he'll just scream. And
I could just be
pretend like
talking
he's
with it. Yo, what's up?
Hey, man.
Oh, shit.
So is the question coming up?
Oh,
Is
everybody
the
hear me?
question
Yeah,
coming
what's up?
Is
What's
the
up?
question coming up?
Maybe.
It works. Trust us, it works.
It does. It works really well, actually.
Well,
Okay.
Okay.
We'll do.
Yeah.
You want to do one of these or one of the Conduit?
Yeah. Question coming up.
this is the question
So the
technology.
question's coming up.
This is where we use the 40 programs to generate this.
The question tech. Question tech.
This goes directly to high voltage and bounce back.
Yeah, definitely.
So is everyone ready for the question?
I'm always
Question
ready.
coming up. The question is, what color has Eric Nofsinger's watch?
That's not even English.
What do you
Is.
Wow.
has Eric's watch?
Yeah, what color Ken has? Cheeseburger.
Wow.
Can has watch?
Dude, look at this.
Look at all the. Look at that. Are you paying attention to this?
No, not at all.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
There's
Good.
a million.
There's like
So
a million.
yeah,
I
we
know.
already had the right answer was silver.
Okay, I
So
gotta
you-
find out who was the first one to say that.
It's
Let me
silver.
just-
It's silver. Silver.
Give me a second before I.
The color is shiny.
Yeah, the color has.